What's good, Plum Borough? I'm Drew Bartow, alongside my co-host, Mike Devine.
Happy Thanksgiving.
And Justin Newman.
Yo, yo, yo.
And, of course, show producer, the one and only Big Cat.
What's up?
We aim to entertain and educate more than 3 Plum residents by debating some of the trending topics in the borough, from school board and council happenings to business openings, conspiracy theories, and everything in between. Welcome to the Sour Plums podcast, friends. And I want to welcome back special guest host, Jen Dintini, who has been on the show before when she was making her PA State Senate run. Jen, welcome to Sour Plums.
Thank you for having me again.
You excited to do this with the whole entire show? You think you can handle these guys, especially Mike, the entire show?
Yes, I feel confident. I feel confident I can handle this.
And just so you understand how this works, Jen, we just all gang up on Mike the entire episode.
So nothing's changed.
Perfect.
All right, guys, I want to talk about our fantasy football league, and I've been pretty quiet all year. By the way, this is our fantasy football league. The Sour Plums Fantasy Football League is brought to you by Salute Beer Distributor and Sports Cards Every Month. They are our prize sponsors, and I got to tell you guys, I've been quiet, but after beating Mike and Justin in back-to-back weeks by large margins, I'm going to come out and say this. I'm going to win the league. I'm fairly confident I've made the playoffs. I know there are 2 teams that could catch me, but I've got the points race edge on them by quite a bit. So, yeah, what do you guys think about that?
Full of shit, but either way.
Have you seen my roster?
I mean, you caught me on my first back-to-back week of bye weeks, so let's not get too excited about beating me. Who'd I play this week? Justin? No. Who'd I play this week? Oh, I played Mario. So he caught me on my second week of half my team being on a bye. So next week, I'm looking forward to getting back on the winning track, and I'll see you in the finals. Actually, you'll be watching me in the finals while you're in the consolation bracket.
Well, Justin, you were at the Eagles game and watched Saquon Barkley destroy your fantasy team. But that had to be great for you. That was one of the top 10 games of all time.
Yeah. I was so excited, and then in the same moment, I went, "Motherfucker, I'm playing against him." I went, "You know what? I can't really be mad right now. Like, this is fantastic for the Eagles." So
9th best rushing performance ever, right?
I will take an Eagles win over a fantasy loss any day of the week.
Yes, sir. And Big Cat's in first place.
First place still. I'm exactly where I belong. I was undefeated for the longest time. Shout out to Brittany, right? She fell off after we played each other.
She fell off quite a bit.
Yeah, sorry, lady. And then just climbing back into first after having a couple losses that Justin let me know were coming. So I wasn't surprised by that. I knew I was going to lose eventually. So he kept me grounded. I appreciate that, Justin. I really do. Because I was flying high, undefeated, right? But I stayed on course and I'm in first place. So wherever I end up is where I belong.
That's right. Jen, do you do any fantasy football?
No, I don't.
You're the smart one of this group.
I mean, it seems fun. My husband does. I don't know. I don't really know much about it, but it seems fun for other people. I support you and your fantasy football teams.
Jen cares about our fantasy teams. Don't let anybody else tell you again that nobody cares about your fantasy team.
There's one person.
Yes. For the record, before we move on to what we're drinking tonight, boys, I do want to mention that I am playing my mom this week. I am going to beat my mom this week. I'm going to beat my mom this week. I've already talked the trash, so I can't walk it back. She's
going to beat you twice in 1 year. It's going to be great.
I have never rooted so hard for a kid in my life.
That's funny. All right, boys and Jen, what are we drinking?
Ladies first.
Well, thank you. I have my basic Stanley with as a true middle-aged mom. And I also have a Miller Lite.
There we go.
I feel like you didn't want to say middle-aged mom after you said basic. Holding a Stanley.
I mean, it's like the biggest stereotype, right?
Could have added a couple adjectives into that, but I didn't.
Yeah. Top 5 biggest. I
mean, that's a pretty big stereotype now, current. Like, could be a Halloween costume.
Big Cat.
I'm drinking 4C iced tea.
I guess that.
No surprise there. Mike.
I was coming in hot tonight. I have a Diet Dr. Pepper from Chick-fil-A. Don't shake your head at me. I'm sorry. I'm busy.
Always say, I'm coming in hot.
Amazing that he walked in at 9:27 and didn't have a beverage, but I came in at 9:29 and, oh, look at that. I've got a beverage because I'm a big boy.
And what is that beverage, Newman?
We are staying with the hard monster beverages. This one is Beast Unleashed. It is called White Haze. It's quite delicious.
And I am drinking Fresh Brew from Hitchhiker, another IPA, which is what I usually drink, unless I forget to buy beer for the week. All right, I want to give a shout out to our Sour Plum sponsors. Thank you to Continental Comb, Tresco Concrete, the Jen Mascaro Real Estate Team, Nilulo's Pizzeria, Salute Beer Distributor, Busy Little Me, Pittsburgh Sports Complex and Self Storage, and Nesbitt's Lanes. Continental Comb Barbershop, a traditional barbershop servicing the area since 1973. Up to date on all the new styles and cuts. Call 412-795-7555 and mention Sour Plums for $5 off any service.
Tresco Concrete, the best concrete products on the market. Ready-mix concrete delivered to your door, guaranteed to get hard or your money back. And as always, their concrete is all natural, no supplements, and always 100% Viagra-free.
The Jen Mascaro team proudly supports the Sour Plums podcast. When it comes to selling your home promptly and at peak value, look no further than the expertise of the Jen Mascaro team. With over a decade of industry experience, we guarantee to guide you seamlessly through the process. For personalized assistance, contact us at 412-607-6318 or email jen.mascaro@cbrealty.com.
Lilulo's Pizzeria, serving up quality food, good grace, and burnt pizza since 2016. Local and woman-owned, located at 415 Unity Center Road in Plum. Call 412-795-1229 and mention Sour Plums for 10% off your order of $10 or more. Cannot be combined with any other offer.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Let's jump right into Plum Problems. I got 2 this week. Both I don't think will take a long time.
It's against the rules,
But-
isn't it?
I make the rules. This is my segment.
This is your segment. Okay.
So one is just really a pet peeve. Why is there a dark setting on toasters? Who the hell is using the darkest setting on toasters? Why are you going past like a medium brown on your toast?
I don't think you can stop at medium brown, Mike. I think you have to go to dark and let people decide that they can't go that high. I think they have to know, like, oh, wait, that's too far. I better dial it back one. I think that's why. They have to have a level up there that says you can't go this far.
So it's like a willpower thing, you're saying?
I think so, yeah.
Or trial and error?
Could be. But you never go full. Honest, I mean, do you, Justin?
Absolutely not.
Why'd you ask Justin?
For the record, I saw his face. For no other reason, I saw his face.
Could you clarify that comment further?
He was... I saw his face, and I saw that he was ready to chime in with words. I saw his mouth beginning to open.
Pause.
So
that's why I asked Justin.
No, but really, like who's going further than 3.5 on when you're making toast? Whoever says, I could really use a piece of 6 toast right now and lose it in for like 9 minutes. Who's doing that?
Mike, are you aware what the numbers mean on a toaster?
The minutes that they toast for.
I'm proud of you.
I did not know that.
Yeah, maybe you should be cultured like I am. But
yeah, that's my problem. Probably, you're right. I did not know that. Thank you. That could have been a Minority Report.
It could have been
Inside of a Plum Problem.
That's
yeah,
bonus Minority Report.
So okay, so that was just my pet peeve one. But so here's my other Plum Problem. There is nobody in this world more hopeful, and Jen, you can back this one up, than a mom who put something on the steps to go upstairs.
True story.
I will trip over things before I pick them up. Not because I'm lazy, but mostly because I just don't see them. Like Jess and I have different eyes. And she puts stuff there on the steps to go upstairs. And I trip over them like, why is that there? And then Jess will yell at me. She's like, why don't you bring that stuff upstairs? And I say to her, why don't you just bring it upstairs when you put it there instead of putting it there?
So are they your things that she puts on the stairs that need to go upstairs? So whenever you're going upstairs, you can grab them and take them up to wherever they belong?
I mean, I feel like that's an irrelevant question sometimes. But...
Well, this is why we do it. So I'm sure that your kids, like she takes their stuff and she puts it on the stairs, whether it's shoes or a sweatshirt or whatever needs to go up. And I'm sure she puts it on the right side of the stairs as well. And this is where we put things as moms in the hope that as our husbands or our children are walking by, it might dawn on them to say, hey, that's mine. I should help mom out and take that back up and put it away. So she doesn't have to go up and down the stairs 10 times.
Maybe if she carried everything in one time up the steps, she would only make one trip.
I'm just giving you the thought process behind why we do these things.
I would say enjoy the couch, Mike, but we know Jess doesn't listen to the show, so you're good.
He's just behind.
Do you guys run into this, Big Cat? Justin, do you guys run into this at all? Yeah.
Mine is at the top of the stairs, though, because the man cave is downstairs, so all of my stuff is always downstairs. So it's always sitting at the
Reverse.
top of the stairs, and I have to take it down.
Today, this actually made my list today because I came down the steps and I tripped over
A puzzle tin?
my T-shirt. We didn't put that video up, by the way. I was supposed to put it up this week, but I tripped over my T-shirt and fell down 2 steps, and I was so mad. And then Jess was like, "Why didn't you bring it upstairs? It's your shirt." And I said, "Again, that's an irrelevant question. Why was it on the steps?"
I have 2 things about the stairs that I want to share. First, our house has like stages. It's literally like the first 3 steps, but then it starts getting like its 5th step, 6th step. It's like almost making its way upstairs. Like it's just a conveyor belt that moves really slow and everything's going 1 step up. And it's never my stuff. Maybe it's a sweatpant every once in a while, but it's never mine. It's always the boys, and they never take their stuff up. So I'm looking down the stairs in the morning. I'm like, our house is a hoarder's house. Like it's piling up on the stairs. I can't even walk down my stairs without tripping on T-shirts and toys. Luckily, I've never fallen.
Knock on wood there, Big Cat.
No,
I've
never had I never leave things on the stairs, and I guess if I saw them laying at the bottom of the stairs, I might think about taking it up. But generally, if I'm taking something upstairs, I'm just taking it upstairs and being done with it. Yeah.
So usually when we're doing this, we're cleaning up the first floor. And so we're gathering things that need to go upstairs. And so we place them on the right side of the steps. So in the hope that, like I said, your other family members will take their shit upstairs. And it usually doesn't happen. But now that we've had this conversation and all of your listeners can be aware of this, everyone can be very cognizant that this is why we put things on the stairs, to look and see what's on the stairs. And if it's yours, take it back and put it where it belongs. And if it's not yours, if it's one of your children, you can even help them out and take it back and put it where it belongs. Because it helps the ladies of the house, and we appreciate it.
I like that she clarified on the right side of the steps.
It's on the right side of the step. If you put it on the left, I don't. You're a psycho. I'm kidding.
Now I want to know.
It's the right side of the stairs at my house.
Now I want to know.
Well, ours is on the left. Ours is on the left because the right it's like an open slat halfway up, like it's an open wall.
So it doesn't slide through.
Naturally. I think he would slide through the slats.
Mm-hmm.
That felt weird saying while looking at you, Jen. Sorry. I don't know. I just felt like that was a weird word to say. I never make eye contact with Mike when I say moist. I remember that was weird.
How often do you say moist to me?
Haven't you been counting? One time it was something of mine. It was a computer and like a mobile monitor, and I get home and Carly's like, I tripped and fell down the stairs and your stuff was on it and my stuff was still laying at the bottom. I come to do some detecting and I feel like she dropped an elbow on this stuff because it was mine and it had been sitting there. Like, just like it wasn't adding up. Like her heel placement, she stepped on it. Like it wasn't a fall. And like, so I found that out. And if I'm wrong, she can call in and correct me and I'll apologize. But I think it was on purpose.
On that note, Big Cat, what's your plum problem?
You know, there's so many problems to pick from, and I really thought I was going to be done talking about Mole Man,
Yes,
but we're not on speaking terms.
Mole Man Chronicles continue.
Yes, I went from like I was really not wanting to interact with this guy to now I'm like kind of butthurt he won't talk to me. Like we're not on speaking terms. Like I felt like I missed my opportunity to talk to him. And now he's not.
Maybe he's not
going to stop.
That you've talked about him on this show quite a bit.
Well, then he's heard what I've said, and I think what I've said has been considerate.
Mostly, yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
There's nothing disparaging.
You refer to him as Mole Man.
I mean, that's number one. That's probably number one.
I mean, to be fair, that was me that gave him that nickname, so it wasn't really big.
That's true.
But he hasn't changed it.
But sometimes those kind of nicknames become endearing, you know?
Also true.
Well, Mole Man,
Unless
if you're
you see
listening,
the moles, you
reach
don't
out.
know why. Yeah.
Reach out.
If
We
his-
want to make this better.
If his name is like Eric E. Mole or something like that,
Mole,
Mole E.
mole,
Man or
mole.
something.
Wouldn't feel as bad then, right?
No, it fits.
Well, we'll wait anxiously for part 5 next
I'm
episode.
gonna try to talk to him next time.
We want an update. Newman, what do you got?
So my plum problem is traffic related. I think we're going back to Malabar days. Kane, is it Kane Road over by the YMCA?
Yes.
That road has been closed for like 7 years. That is my shortcut to the Y.
Used to love that road.
I love that road so much because I can bypass 286, but that road hasn't been open in almost 7 years, and it's really annoying.
Wait, which
Add
one's
that-
Kane?
That's the one. So if you're going down 286, the light that turns right where the McDonald's and Burger King were, that light up there, it goes up to the top of. There's an industrial park
Yeah.
on the
it
other
runs,
side of it.
It runs up behind the Y.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
right.
So if you take Kane, it's the back side of the Y. Like you can come in on the other side. And that road hasn't been open in 7 years. And I that was my shortcut. And I hate the fact that I have to sit in 286 every day to get to the Y.
You can skip
That's
multiple
also-
lights. Yeah.
All day, and you just sit there for like 10 minutes. A ride that should take me 4 minutes takes me about 12 every day. And then Abers Creek is also under construction, so you have to go around that way. My kid likes to complain that he wants to go to Sheets before he comes to work at the Y, but he can't because he leaves practice and tries to cut through Holiday Park and can't cut through and has to go all the way back around. So we need to get our shit together on construction on these roads.
This sounds like a job for Jimmy McBride.
It does. So that's my plum problem.
Yeah, Kane's been closed forever. I gotta probably break it to you. I don't think it's coming back.
I don't think it's coming back.
So
I'm not
I think
very
Abers
happy
Creek
about
is
it.
coming back.
I've lost out on Kane.
Yeah.
So sad.
So my plum problem wasn't a plum problem. It was just a problem. And then I saw a picture of Newman on Facebook at the Eagles game. You guys ever heard of Noggin Boss hats? They're the oversized hats that, I mean, they sit like a foot off your head. I thought to myself, this is about a week ago before I saw Newman's post. I thought to myself, like, if that guy sits in front of me at a game I just paid like $200 for a ticket, like, I'm going to be pissed. And then I see Newman in LA living it up, living the dream, watching Saquon Barkley, and he's got the Noggin Boss on. Like, do you ever sit behind people like that, Justin? And did you ever hear feedback from people you sat in front of? Because you can't see over that. There's no way you can see over that hat.
So for clarification, I had the hat on. I also took another hat in case there was someone behind me, so I wasn't disrupting their view. But I turned around and looked behind me, and there was an empty seat in the row behind me, and the people that were sitting moved over one, so the seat behind me was empty, so I got to wear the hat the whole time.
See, you're thoughtful. I don't think everybody's that thoughtful.
No, not everyone is definitely not thoughtful.
Do you guys know what hat I'm talking about? Jen, do you have an idea what we're talking about? Have you seen them?
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
well, Justin posted it the other day.
Oh, you
but
saw
yeah,
it
I've
too,
seen
yeah.
them. They're like giant baseball caps, but they're
Do you
like,
want me to go get it?
they're like an astronaut helmet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
imagine
you should wear
imagine
it
if
now.
you go. Yes, imagine if you go to a game. You just bought your son Christmas tickets to the game of his dreams, and the two guys sitting in front of you are wearing these hats. It's like you have to say something. You have to, and they don't have to take it off, of course, but you have to say something. I can't imagine that happened to me. Here it comes. There,
Oh, yeah.
oh my, that hat is so absurd. I love it. I love it. I do love how it looks. I think it's funny, but I can't
All right, there
imagine
we go.
sitting. You look tiny now. You do. You look tiny.
Looks like Billy.
Billy.
I'm gonna wear it for the rest of the show now.
I know what Billy just said.
Oh, I love it. The what's it called? Noggin Boss.
Noggin Boss.
Noggin
That's
Boss.
awesome.
Yeah, I like how they look.
I wasn't
These hats
Honestly,
are hilarious.
honestly, I was like not sold on it until he came on the screen with it on.
They're so
awesome.
utterly ridiculous, and I freaking love it.
Jen, do you have a plum problem?
Yeah. So I kind of like you, Drew. I don't know if it's a plum problem or a me problem, but there was an election 3 weeks ago today. And as you all know, I was the Republican nominee for state Senate. And unfortunately, I lost. But I had the greatest experience. As hard as it was and as much work as it was 95% positive. The stuff that's negative, it sticks to your bones. It is hard. It's hard to deal with. And I've said this before. I didn't run for myself. I had an opportunity that presented itself, and I thought, what could I do with it? And what could I do for the 45th district? What could I do for Plum Borough? Because it was such a great opportunity. And I was never a really, controversial candidate. I'm a very middle of the road kind of person. So, whenever it came down to things like what do we all care about every day? And it's like, we want to have good jobs. We want to be able to take care of our families. We want to have safe communities. We want to have good schools. And focusing on increasing, resources that we have locally for mental health and resources that we have for our kids. And this is just like basic common sense stuff that I would talk about a lot. So while it was incredibly disappointing, and it's hard to go from like 100 to 0 that fast, but I have met the most amazing people that believe in me. And that still is just like mind blowing to me. It's astounding because I think people see more in me than I even see in myself. And I don't know what the future holds as of right now, but I just think that I had an opportunity, and if I would have won, even with everything stacked against me, because everything was stacked against me from day one, um, and I just kept charging ahead. But I would have been in the majority caucus, which is something that I think I could have brought a lot of good things to the whole district, and we're not going to have that opportunity now. So from that perspective, I get like that's a plum problem, not just a plum problem, but like a problem in general. But we'll see what happens, and maybe I'll try something else in the future. But I did, a part of coming on here, want to just touch on that, and I can answer any questions if anybody has it. But it was a really cool experience that not a lot of people get the opportunity to do it, and I'm really glad that I did.
What would you say it was the most, I don't want to say problematic, 'cause it is Plum Problems. What was the most difficult part of that process for you overall, or the thing that you'd like to see change, I guess?
So, I mean, as far as from like a candidacy perspective, I mean, in politics in general, the
Even the
mudslinging.
process. Yeah, the process, right. Maybe it's
So
yeah.
the mudslinging that goes into it, and you're told and this is on both sides, and you're told, this is a part of it. We all know what it is whenever you get into it. Um, and I think that people are like, oh, well, you knew what you were getting into, and so I guess it's acceptable then to just lie about people and bash them on television. Um, it's hard. It's hard to sit there and for your kids to see these outrageous commercials of me putting women in jail for buying birth control. I mean, that was outrageous and the most like ridiculous ad about women's rights that I've ever seen in my life from a woman that I don't fit into the pro-life box. I don't fit into the pro-choice box. I fit into the let's have reasonable law around these things, which we already have in Pennsylvania, and stop using this woman's issue to beat the crap out of each other and sling mud. That was hard. Your kids asking you questions about what's abortion. I hear about it all the time. That's hard to you can't answer that for young kids. It's not age appropriate. And everybody feels like it's too much. Like we were all as people sick of it in the end. With how many mailers did you get? I mean, we sent 24 mailers from my campaign alone.
Yeah.
You're welcome, everybody. Like, I mean, and it's all part of it. And on every side, you have consultants that are professionals at this, and they tell you, they give you guidance as far as what you should do and what you shouldn't do. And you try to make the best decisions that you can, because nobody goes into this to lose. And, but at the end of the day, like you go on Facebook and you search your name and you see the way that people talk about you that you've never met in your life. And, I did this for all the right reasons. I didn't do this for any personal gain. I did this for everybody else, that there was an opportunity that I was going to seize to try to help people here, because nothing has been changing. Nothing has changed in the last 15 years in a positive way, in my opinion. And so it was like, okay, enough of it. Like, let's take the politics out of it. Let's be people, neighbors, community members, and work together to actually get some stuff done. Unfortunately, I mean, it just is what it is. You know, there's a lot of people that just vote straight party. It's a 69-31 split in this district of Democrat to Republican. I mean, that is really difficult to beat, especially as a first-time candidate that's never ran for office before. I mean, there was challenges left and right, but if we could all take a little bit of the venom out of the conversations when we're having them, because at the end of the day, if we all just really want to have good jobs, safe communities, good schools, I don't think that venom and that hatred, that toxicity needs to be a part of the conversations.
I think your point,
Yeah.
that stuff sort of keeps a lot of people from running, right? They don't want
Understandably so.
They don't want to drag their kids into it, their families into it. They maybe they can handle it personally, but they don't want anybody else to handle it, right? To
Yeah.
deal with that.
Yeah. And like, my son witnessed someone get very nasty with me once, and I told him, and we were at a community event, and it was someone in my opponent's camp, and he started yelling at me and calling me a liar at an arts fest in front of my 9-year-old son. And I just told him, you know, I can handle it, but you shouldn't be around this. And so you might not be able to come to things like this anymore with mommy, because, you know, before I was really well known, it was different. When things were getting heated, that kind of stuff was hard, you know, strangers coming up to you and, you know, yelling at you. And, you know, I mean, it's a different world for sure. But again, I don't regret it. I would do it again. Do what I already did again. I don't know if I would do it again in the future. It's a little too fresh right now, but we'll see.
Jen and I had a few conversations, I think, right when she started to run, and then as the campaign started to heat up, and she asked, do you get used to this? And I said, when it's about you, you learn to deal with it. When it's about your family, you never get used to it. When people start attacking your kids and your spouse, you don't get used to it. And you shouldn't have to. They didn't sign up for it. So that's the hardest part about it.
Well, like I said,
For
I think
sure.
that keeps a lot of people from doing it. But so thank you for sharing that with us, Jen. I'd like to know what your thoughts were on, you know, kind of the most difficult parts of that. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to bring family into it, and when you're just trying to make change.
But
So-
some of the positives from her campaign, if she's not going to say these stats, I will. She killed it at the polls. So in the people that went actually out to the polls to vote, she won by like 7,000 votes. And in Plum, she won 20 out of 21 districts. So she did an awesome job.
Thank you, Plumborough.
Well, thank you for sharing that, Jen.
Thank you.
Newman, what's the latest Minority Report?
All right, folks. So your Minority Report this week is going to be Thanksgiving edition. So for those that do the cooking, making mashed potatoes. So one of two things you can do. So instead of peeling potatoes for hours, if you take a knife and you cut around the middle of the potato, just cut the skins lightly, boil the potato, put the potatoes in cold water, and then you can peel the skin right off. You will never have to peel a potato ever again. Also,
I like that.
Also, you can do the same thing. You could just boil potatoes without cutting it. You boil potatoes, and then you put them, once they're boiled, you put them on the counter. You get a mixing bowl, and you get a dry baking rack. You put the baking rack over top of the mixing bowl. You cut the potatoes in half. You take the side that's cut, push it down onto the baking rack, and it goes through to the bowl. Again, you're not cutting or peeling potatoes. That's another way to do it as well. You don't even have to mash those. You can just eat those as cubed potatoes.
Nice. I like that. Peeling potatoes is a pain in the ass.
I'm actually angry right now.
Did you just peel a bunch of potatoes?
No, because in the past I have.
Yeah, so that's your way of getting out of peeling potatoes for mashed potatoes, or if you're just going to eat potatoes that way, eat potatoes that way. So for those that are preparing to host and you have, drinks in a cooler, or do sodas in a cooler, if you take the 12 packs of soda and you open the bottom like where the flap is, and you put it open side down, and you stand them straight up. You fill ice around those rectangles, and then once the ice is full, you take the cardboard and you pull up, and they're all in the ice in the cooler, and they're not like all strewn about, but they're still going to get cold the same way.
And they're very organized.
And they're organized in the same spot. And if you drew Capri Suns, if you take the Capri Sun box, it actually opens in half, and you can reach into the pouches, and they can lay flat in a refrigerator, and you just pull the pouches out.
That's good stuff coming up. I mean, that's timely.
Exactly.
I mean, maybe not for, if this drops Thanksgiving morning, this will be very timely for people.
Let's hope it helps. I hope to help people. And that is your Minority Report for the week, folks.
Well, thank you, Newman. Mike, you got a would you rather for us tonight?
I do. I think it's a good one tonight.
You've never said it was going to be a bad one. I've never heard you say that. I've never, not once.
They're never bad. They're never bad. Before we jump into this, we have to really talk through this one. So, would you rather take $1 million free and clear, or $1 million for every legitimate hit that you get in 50 major league at-bats? Now, think about the 50 major league at-bats. It's a legit hit, single, double, triple, home run. You're going to, if in 50 at-bats, let's say you're a designated hitter, so you're not playing the field, so you're legit at-bats. You're going to be facing 6-7 starters, a handful of middle relievers, 5 or 6 setup men, and potentially 2 or 3 closers.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing?
I mean, I don't mind starting on this one because I think I'll take the $1 million right now because there's zero chance. There's zero chance that I get a hit in 50 at-bats. I don't know that I would ever get a hit from this point forward at 41 years of age for the rest of my life. I'm going to go backwards physically. There's no way. In high school, I hit at a small school. At high school, I hit between 450 and 500. And the one time I faced a pitcher who threw 85 plus with a curveball, I just had to I laughed. I never struck out. I couldn't touch this kid. And that was 85 and a curveball. What's every major leaguer at now? I mean, 96 is middle of the road nowadays. 97 is the average major league pitcher. I mean, I know there's a few of you on here that are going to say you're athletes. I know Justin's over there looking like he's going to hit 10 hits, get 10 mil. I'm telling you, you're not. There's no way, guys. Love you, but you're not doing it.
Well, it's not even just the hitting, though. He's saying that it's not that you have to hit off of a major league pitcher. It's fielding too. Like you have to get on base.
It has to drop, right? It has to find a hole, right? It's not just putting the bat on the ball. It's having an actual hit. Yeah.
I'm going to take the money.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. The Pirates, half of their starting lineup got like 6 hits out of 50 at bats. They were hitting like 130. These are major league baseball players. I'm just saying.
Are they? Are they?
They're 4A. Yeah. All right, who's gonna be bold?
So here's what I'll say. I'm not taking the money, but not because I'm confident that I'm going to get a hit, but because I think it's cool as hell that I'm going to get 50 at bats in the major leagues. And if I do get one, great. But I have no expectations of getting a hit. But I just got 50 at bats in the major leagues. The experience is worth more than the money to me.
Okay. All right. And I guess in today's like influencer society, this story would be something to follow. 52-year-old Mike Devine, comes off of open heart surgery, comes in the major leagues. It'd be a great story. It'd be made for you'd make more money off of the Disney movie they made out of it. That's a fair point.
I hope you get an ingrown hair on your chin for Thanksgiving.
Which part was it that you were offended by, Mike? The 52-year-old part, or?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hit too close to home, did it?
No.
Newman, Big Cat. Which one of you are getting a hit? Which one are you telling me you're going to get a hit right now?
I mean, initially I'm taking the money. I would never get a hit. And Mike said that I feel like halfway through pitchers would start hitting you. Like I feel like if they knew if you got a hit, you were getting $1 million, you'd be plunked like right on the butt. So I'm taking the $1 million because there's no way I'm getting a hit, and there's no way I'm taking a hit either.
As someone that still plays baseball, in an adult league, I feel that my hand-eye coordination is still good enough that I would take the gamble to try and get the at-bats.
But right now, would you get the hit? I want to know.
Oh, probably not. Absolutely not. But I'm just saying, I feel that if I attempted it, I would be doing myself a disservice if I didn't try.
Are you doing it for the experience or the money?
Experience.
Okay.
And then if I get the money, great. If not, I didn't have that $1 million to begin with anyway. So I'm not really losing. I'm not losing out on something I didn't have. I'm gaining an experience with the possibility of adding money to said experience. So would I get a hit? Probably not, but I feel like I can get lucky enough as a lefty to put the ball where I need to and run out of base even if I nub the ball and just ground it down to third base as like a swinging bunt. If I get one of those, that's $1 million.
Jen, do you think any of us could do it on this panel?
I believe in all of you. I think that you could all do it if you really tried.
What a mom answer. You're such a mom answer. You're such a mom.
You just have to try your hardest. But I liked what Justin said though. Like you don't have anything to lose. And that's a good attitude going into that. You didn't have the $1 million to begin with. So why not try and like the experience?
As a former baseball player, I've always contended, and this is a discussion for another episode. I think it's a great discussion for another episode. To me, hitting a Major League Baseball is the most difficult thing to do in sports. That's 100%. My opinion.
100%.
That's my opinion. I know people will fight that. That's definitely a discussion for later. But I see a lot of keyboard warriors and middle-aged macho men who can say, well, I can do that. I could catch that pass. I could hit that hole and run for 15 yards with a hole that big. No, you couldn't. Do you realize what I told Xavier the other night? My son, he said, I could have got 5 yards out of that. I'm like, no, you see that hole? That hole closes so fast with those guys. And if you actually got hit by an NFL player, we would see your soul leave your body on the field. You would be you would be dead. Like if somebody an NFL player hit me, I would, if I didn't die, I would take a long time to recover.
So let me ask this question: 50 at bats, over under 9 times the ball's touching the bat.
Under. I would put up 10K saying you would be under 3.
See, I'm saying I'm touching the ball 10 times.
And I'm saying no bunts, even though that would be difficult too. Swing. Okay.
Swings. I'm not saying you're going fair, but I'm touching the ball 10 times.
I'm making contact. I'm taking the over on myself.
Wow.
I'm confident in my abilities.
Now I got to go find a Major League pitcher to do this for us. Even a retired Major League pitcher like Jason. Let's get Jason Grilli in here.
Who?
Jason Grilli.
Oh, come on.
Newman. Now I got to contact him because Newman doesn't know who he is.
Oh.
I mean, the last time the Pirates made the playoffs, like right before they made the playoffs, like those last, like 2012, 13, he was their closer.
2014-ish.
Yeah,
sure.
In that range.
I think I have a picture.
Mac and cheese.
Yeah.
I think I have a picture of him on my phone, and he was like snubbing FS1 reporter, like a Fox Sports 1 reporter. It was right after a game. It was funny.
Take your word for it.
That's a good one. That was a good one, Mike. I'll give you that.
Told you.
All right. Let me say thank you to our sponsors once again. Thank you to Continental Comb, Tresco Concrete, the Jen Mascara Real Estate Team, the Lulo's Pizzeria, Salute Beer Distributor, Busy Little Me, Pittsburgh Sports Complex and Self-Storage, and Nesbitt's Lanes. At Salute Beer Distributor, we are bringing you a large selection of beers from local and national breweries. Our extensive inventory includes craft beers, seasonal specialties, your everyday favorites, adult slushies, and an impressive inventory of non-alcoholic beers. Salute's inventory has something special for every palate. Come browse the aisles at Salute Beer Distributor, located on Route 286 in Plum, next to Shop and Save. You'll be glad you did.
Busy Little Me's is a residential cleaning company serving Plum and local communities. Housekeeping duties include house cleaning, disposing of rubbish, sanitizing services, dusting, vacuuming, mopping, scrubbing, etc., etc. We do custom-to-you cleans once a month, once a week, or every 9 minutes. We got you, sis. We've also been known to do decluttering and pre-clean cleans. That's a real thing. We can also polish a dirty face, scrub a doggo's filthy paws, or even spit shine your shoe. Laundry? Need linens washed? Done. How about your husband's gutchies? No prob. That ugly camisole your mother-in-law gave you? What was that? Just throw it away? Your secrets are safe with us. BusyLittleMe's.squarespace.com.
Whether chaos in your house or chaos on the court, Pittsburgh Sports Complex and Self-Storage has your back. Conveniently located in Plum at 307 Coxcomb Hill Road. Book online anytime. Don't miss out. Score 50% off your first storage rental with code GOAL.
Nesbitt's Lanes Incorporated. Lanes available for the 24-25 season. Family Bowling Center specializing in open bowling, league bowling, bumper bowling, birthday parties, group events, fundraisers, all-night bowling parties, summer leagues, Sunday morning specials, in-house tournaments, junior bowling program, after-school bowling program. They can be reached at 412-793-5556. Web address is www.nesbittlanes.com. And when you book and mention the podcast for your child's birthday by the end of the year, the birthday child is free. Welcome back, friends. Andy,
Newman,
I hear it's time for a Thanksgiving themed this or that.
it is.
Yes.
It's going to be a simple one. I got 5 matchups, this or that, right? You pick. It's kind of like, it's almost like build your favorite plate out of these 5 matchups for Thanksgiving Day. And I know we're going to have some disagreements here, so this should be fun.
Ambrosia salad.
Yeah, that is not on here. There may be some. No, there's nothing that outrageous on this list. Let's go, Jen, Justin, Mike, Big Cat. Jen,
This
Justin,
is just
Mike, Big Cat.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, let's say Thanksgiving. Turkey or ham?
Okay. Turkey.
Ham, honey baked.
Turkey.
Turkey.
I'd go turkey as well. And I'll say this time. You want to hear what people who don't like turkey most often? They say they don't like turkey not so much because of the flavor, but because it's dry. That has to do with who's preparing it. Put that sucker in an overnight brine. I do it. The brine I do is an orange juice, brown sugar, salt, brine, and water and ice. I leave it overnight. Cook that sucker, and man, it's so. Should I say it?
Moist.
Or juicy.
Do you put it in a bag?
I do not. No, I do. So what I'll do is the first 30 minutes, I put it at 500 degrees and it browns the skin, and then I cover it in foil. I tent it in foil, and then I do it lower temperature for the next 3-ish hours.
Mine's browning right now.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Liquid butterball.
Not a butterball.
Okay. Well, that's my take on turkey. I feel like you have to have a good juicy turkey. All right. Mashed potatoes or mac and cheese?
Mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes.
Newman saying that with that hat on was just was great, by the way.
Yeah. But mashed potatoes, but not prepared the way Justin's life hack told us.
Okay.
I just want to clarify.
Okay.
Even if they're instant. Go on.
For Thanksgiving, I'd probably go mashed potatoes. I actually usually do both because my kids love homemade mac and cheese, and they don't really like mashed potatoes, so I'll do both. I'll put both on my plate, but if I had to pick one, mashed potatoes. All right, number 3, sweet potato casserole or green bean casserole?
No, it's getting hard. Oh, I would say sweet. I should not have said that. Difficult.
That's wild that you said it like that. Jen, it's wild that you said it like that.
Sorry. Oh God. I'm gonna go with green bean casserole.
Okay.
If I have to choose between the two, it's going to be green bean casserole.
But you don't like either. I sense Jen like both.
I would just do a green bean.
Okay.
I like both.
I do like both as well, but I would go sweet potato casserole.
Sweet potato casserole, and Carly's making it for our Thanksgiving. I cannot wait. I'm about to sink my teeth into it. It's going to be so good.
Just so we're on the same page, sweet potato casseroles with the syrup and the
marshmallows.
Marshmallows
typically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So wait, I have a question. Is that going to be sweet potato casserole and mashed potatoes? Are you doing both on your plate? Or is this just in general?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's two completely different.
They're completely different when you do it that way. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like, so I'll make my answer sweet potato casserole as well. I love it. I like both, actually. I'd put both on the plate. We make a bunch of stuff. This year I'm ordering for convenience because I have more people, but I would go sweet potato casserole. I do not like sweet potato fries at all. Won't do it. But I like for me, my favorite side with a really good steak is asparagus and sweet potatoes with brown sugar and butter all over. Oh, it's so good. So good.
Oh, you're speaking my love language.
Only took me 21 episodes to get there, but we found it. All right. No, we haven't had a consensus on anything except mashed potatoes. Okay. All right. Number 4, pumpkin pie or pecan pie?
Pumpkin.
Neither.
Wow.
This is so hard.
You only get one.
Today, Junior.
I keep wanting to say pumpkin, but every time I go to say it, I stop because I want to say pecan.
Then do it.
I'll go pecan.
Okay. Pumpkin pie. I can't believe I had to wait that long just to say a pie I don't
They're
want.
both so good.
Just pick it. You have to pick it. You have to pick it and put it on your plate.
I'm going pumpkin as well, but I can eat that. I can eat any pie. I can eat any pie over cake all day long. All
So
right.
do you not
sorry,
like
Jen.
pies? I'm sorry. So Justin and Big Cat, do you not like pies?
I only eat apple pie.
Justin has the palate of a 4-year-old.
I did know
does.
that. I did
Okay.
know that.
Honestly, the only pie I would get usually was like a Oakmont Bakery chocolate cream pie.
I swear that's
So-
not where he was going with that. I was waiting for Poontang to come out of his mouth.
Waiting for what? Waiting for me
Poontang
to say
pie.
what? Oh
Poontang.
God, I don't think I would ever say that.
There's only one way to eat fruit, and it's baked in enough crust. Okay.
That was a good follow-up, Jen. That was great. All right, last one. Biscuits or dinner rolls?
Dinner rolls.
My mom's dinner rolls.
Biscuit.
Wow.
No dinner rolls. Dinner rolls. No, I can't. Dinner rolls.
He said biscuit. He said biscuit.
No,
Go to the
no,
judges.
I can't.
Judges.
Are you talking
He
about the
said
flaky
biscuit.
biscuits?
Yeah, flaky biscuit.
No, dinner rolls.
Okay. Big cat.
Can't do
Dinner rolls.
Dinner rolls all day. All right. This
Yeah,
concludes
biscuits.
Fat kid.
this
God.
concludes this or that. Hey, by chance, if you're listening to this episode on
Don't say it.
Thanksgiving morning and you post a picture of your Thanksgiving Day plate on our Facebook page, don't worry, I'll have a post up there for Thursday morning first thing. You post a picture in the comments, one lucky poster will be drawn to be a special guest host in season 2 of Sour Plums next year.
Look at that. Make sure you tag Mike Devine too.
Even better. Two entries if you tagged Mike Devine.
Yes.
All right. Well, listen. I was going to say this for later in the show, but if you tag me or if you post your picture of your plate on my Facebook page, like all 3,000 people do every year, that's fine. But follow it up with a $10 donation to the Sean Marcelino Foundation. I will put the link up for the foundation. We raised a couple $100 the last couple of years, so
Oh, I love
Hashtag
that.
worth it.
Good.
so yeah. So
That's great.
I'll deal with it if you make the donation. Don't be cheap. If you put it up there, you better donate.
Mike, blind rankings this week. Just those of you who aren't familiar with it, Mike's going to have a category. Hopefully it's a good one.
Doesn't
Usually
matter.
the category's fine. but
Yes.
what happens next is not always good. He'll then say 5 things, one at a time, and we have to blindly rank them without knowing what comes next. Mike, what do you got?
All right, sticking with the Thanksgiving themes. This is the top 5 things that are Thanksgiving themed that are not food.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
Let's see it. Let's hear it.
So we'll go Drew, Justin, Jen, Big Cat. All right. Number 1, NFL football. Specifically the NFL football games on Thanksgiving Day.
So, you're going to like throw me off here. I'm gonna feel bad when you say like spending time with family.
Are you going to put that at number 1?
Well, I do like Friendsgiving. I pick and choose now. So I've reached that point in my life. I'm gonna go number 1. I love football at number 1. I'm putting it at number 1. Look, I don't have to do anything, and food's ready to go. Kick off the first game. I just start drinking and watching football, and that's a great day for me. There's no gifts. There's nothing required like other holidays. It's just football's on. People are here. We're drinking. We're laughing. Maybe we're arguing. Whatever. It's fun. Football. 1.
I've learned my lesson over the past few episodes. Mike will fuck this up in some way, shape, or form. So number 1 is going to be NFL football. You
Gotta
cannot
go there.
take that away from me. It has
Gotta
to
go
go
there.
number 1. I love football. Obviously, I love fantasy football. Football just makes the day so much more enjoyable.
Yes.
Number 1.
I am appalled. I cannot wait to hear what these other on Thanksgiving. Number 1, I mean, I'm not surprised. My husband would say football too. But number 1 on Thanksgiving is football?
Ambrosia salad's coming somewhere, so it's going at number 1.
So I would go with like 4.
Damn.
Okay. You haven't listened to all these. You've listened to a few, but Mike's gonna pull something out that make you mad. You'd be like, I love football now.
You have to put it at 1.
No, the last time I was on, Planet of the Apes ended up being like my number 1 movie trilogy or something. It's like the worst.
Exactly. Mike's gonna fuck it up. You gotta play it safe. Big Cat taught me that.
I'm going with my newfound strategy to go one-on-one with Mike Devine here. And I just I was thinking, 1, because what could be better than that besides the obvious, like kind of what he said. But as you guys were talking, I saw just like a little twinkle in Mike's eye that I want to leave one open. And maybe I read that wrong, so I'm going to put NFL at number 3, and we'll see what's around the corner here.
Okay. I love that Jen is appalled. I love that we did that. First
We've
one.
already pissed our guests off.
All right, next one, Black Friday.
Oh,
Son of a bitch.
Black Friday football.
'Cause that's a thing
Black
this
Friday.
year.
That's part of Black Friday now, though. If you like shopping and football, wow. But I don't like shopping, so Black Friday, 5 for me.
I'm a little disappointed in myself. I did jump the gun. Black Friday should be number 1 on my list, but it is obviously number 2 now.
Really?
I am out for 14 hours on Black Friday. It is my
Wow.
favorite day of the year.
I'm also out, meaning not awake, because I just drank so much on Thanksgiving.
5. I hate Black Friday. I would think that would be surprising for those of you that know me well, that I would hate Black Friday, because I do enjoy shopping, but I don't like crowds like that.
It's too much.
It's too much.
Cyber Mondays become way better.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. Before the internet, when you when people would like camp out for TVs and stuff, like I respected that. And I respected the effort that people put into that. But now with the internet, like, I don't know, it just lost
Why do
its
it? You don't
It's
have to
definitely not
anymore.
the same as it used to be.
It
but
lost
it's
its
still
mojo
fun.
for me.
Yeah.
I'm putting Black Friday at 5 because of what Mike, Justin, and Jen all said. Good job, guys. No, they nailed all my points. Black Friday has had the biggest fall off in Thanksgiving lore in the last 10 years. Like, it used to be like a magical, like the deal of the century. And now it's like nothing. It's just every other day. There's no mystique around it. There's no glory. It's like level 6 on a toaster, you know?
I have a funny Black Friday anecdote. When we were coming back from vacation when Deuce was 6, we were driving back, and Deuce from the back seat goes, "When's White Wednesday?" Shannon and I looked at each other and were like, "What? When's White Wednesday? What is White Wednesday?" Well, there's Black Friday. When's White Wednesday?
That's great.
I had to explain to my 6-year-old that that's not what it meant, but it's still a really funny story.
I'm just going to say if white was going to be a day of the week, it'd be Monday.
What that means?
No one knows what it means. It's provocative.
Get the people going.
All right, next one. Thanksgiving Eve.
Thanksgiving Eve. The anticipation for what's going to happen. I've had it all week. I've had that anticipation all week.
Nope, that's not what he
that's
means.
not what it is.
Thanksgiving
Partying.
Eve is the biggest party night of the year. When you're in your 20s,
When you're
it's one of the greatest fucking days ever.
now
Sorry.
it's when I prepare my mac and cheese. It's when I'm making my cranberry sauce. I'm preparing ahead of time.
I think this is before for Drew.
It's gonna be 4 for Drew. 4.
So 20s Justin, Thanksgiving Eve would have definitely been in my top 1 or 2, but middle-aged Justin is not really that crazy about going out, so we're going to put Thanksgiving Eve at number 5.
I'm going to go with number 3. I used to really enjoy it when I was younger as well. And it was really fun to go to the local bar and see a bunch of people you went to high school with. And, it's the little, again, the sort of sparkle of it's worn off a little bit because of the internet and because of Facebook and stuff like that. So it's a little bit different that you kind of interact with people more. But I always really enjoyed seeing people that I haven't seen in a long time. But now I go to bed at 9:30. I mean, doing the shows like the latest thing that keeps me up anymore is doing this show. So number 3.
That and PBSA meetings.
Yeah, PBSA meetings.
Big Cat.
I really liked where Drew was going with this when he started before Mike cut him off. Like the anticipation
What a
for the
dick.
holiday
Yeah,
is
what a
fun.
dick.
I remember my parents like getting ready. Like I knew the parade was the next day, that kind of stuff. If Thanksgiving Eve is kind of like the anticipation, I'm gonna put it at number 4 because if
You
that's
built it up so much and then you put it at 4.
well, if Thanksgiving Eve is the build up, then NFL football is the climax. Am I right?
You're not wrong.
All right, well, that was a good segue because the next one is the Macy's Day Parade.
Oh. I mean, honestly, I could give a shit about a parade, any parade. I mean, I'm not being.
If you don't like a parade, if you run the opposite way, you fast forward it.
That's a good. Whose joke was that?
Mitch Hedberg.
Was it Hedberg? Yeah. Yeah. Shit. 3. You've seen one parade and you've seen them all. I mean,
I hate parades.
I wish I'd have put this at 5, but it's going at 4.
2. I mean, it's tradition. Tradition is good. I like tradition, but yeah, I usually do like a turkey trot or something in the morning, so I miss the parade. But I like tradition, but it's 2 because that's what I have left. Saving Mike something good for Mike's number 1.
Good luck.
You know what? I'm just in my feels right now with this like Thanksgiving atmosphere, and maybe it's looking right at Drew this whole episode. I'm just feeling like number 1 for Macy's Parade. There's just something about it. There's something about waking up and knowing they're about to have a parade for Thanksgiving. And I also grew up, if anyone else grew up with Mystery Science Theater 3000,
yeah.
even if I'm watching something that's lame, corny, whatever, I'm commenting on it. I'm commentating. I'm roasting the singer that's clearly not singing. I'm making fun of the balloon handlers falling over with Barney. Like, there's stuff to watch.
That's oddly specific.
R.I.P. Barney, 1997. We know. We remember.
And he's just drinking iced tea.
So, Macy's Parade, number 1. Mike,
All
this
right,
list is
last
great
one.
so far.
Here we go.
The last one.
Here's the curveball.
Turkey Bowls. Jen is so disappointed in this list.
She learned the hard way.
2. I haven't done one in a while, but I'll go 2, and that'd be a fine place if my son actually wants to get involved in it this year again. But we'll see. We'll see. I like them though.
Turkey
I
bowls.
like tradition. That's tradition. That's tradition, right, Justin?
Yeah, absolutely. Turkey bowl's going at 3 for me. Again, younger me, all about the turkey bowl. Loved it. Middle-aged Justin, not getting up. I'm good.
Yeah.
Well, that would be number 1 for me, because that's what's left.
Welcome
but,
to Mike's Top 5.
I will. Yeah, that's the second time you got me there, Mike. But maybe if I could participate in the Turkey Bowl, I would be more into it because I do enjoy playing sports and I'm quite competitive and I could still consider myself athletic. So if
seen
you
you throw
know
a ball,
of one
so
that
yeah.
I could play in, let me know. And maybe it really is number 1.
There you go.
Mine's at number 2, and I just feel like I've cultivated this perfect list. 1 through 5, it just like feels like I just have my priorities straight. Like I'm just on the right track. So I loved playing in turkey bowls, and I'm a turkey bowl god. Like I have deceptive speed and a pretty good arm that I will toast some people, but those days are behind me. So the only thing left is the stories. Over to you, Drew.
Well, there's the episode title, Turkey Bowl God.
All right, I'll give my list. I'm going backwards though. Number 5 for me is Thanksgiving Eve. I have never gone out on Thanksgiving Eve, and when we get to my number 1, you'll know why. Number 4 is Macy's Day Parade because I just don't care about the parade. 3 is Black Friday. I do like the good deals, but like you all said, it is lost its luster. It's not what it used to be. 2, NFL football. Love watching it all day. Number 1, far and away, Turkey Bowls. Tomorrow, Thursday will be my 26th year in the Turkey Bowl that I play in, but it is the 59th year. It is the longest standing Turkey Bowl in Pittsburgh. I look forward to this Turkey Bowl every year. We play down at Shenley Park. The Oakland boys, that's who I play with. 3 years ago, Lily started playing with me in this Turkey Bowl. So when I started, I was 18. And the guys that started it were in their 40s. Now I'm in my 40s. Their kids are older than the age I was when I started, and Lily's the age when they started. But last year, Lily was second place in MVP votes. So she was
Wow.
almost the youngest player to ever get the MVP award, which made me very proud, because they had to make special rules to let a 10-year-old girl not have the advantage, which, if you know Lily, it made me happy. They were yelling that she was counting too fast to rush the quarterback. I said, she is 10, you're 40, figure it out.
Wow.
So
you know what? Maybe it's because it's Thanksgiving. It's my favorite holiday. Maybe it's because deep down somewhere I actually like you, Mike. But that was a really good list. That was a good list.
A while since
That
we've been able to say that.
that was fun. That wasn't a total letdown at the end like you usually throw us that curveball that's way out there. That was a good list. That was
Jen would disagree with that. There.
Jen disagrees horribly with you.
Well, that's only because she's never played in a turkey bowl. It would
Right.
change her mind.
Yeah.
We got to get her involved.
Maybe my list is solid. I just haven't had the opportunity to play in a turkey bowl yet.
Trust your heart, Jen.
You've parade too high. It's not a good list.
All right, Mike, we got a top 5 tonight, or we skip
We
it out?
do.
We do.
No,
Good.
No, we have
good,
a top 5. All right. Jen, do you know how this one works?
No.
Okay, so this is an actual top 5 list. I have the top 10 of our category here. You are the spokesperson. You get to collaborate with the other 3 people on the panel, but you get the final say. And you have 3 strikes, but you have to give me the top 5 of this category. Tonight's category is the top 5 most spoken first languages in the world.
Wow. Okay. Top 5
most spoken languages in the world.
First languages.
First languages in the world.
Yes.
And the best we've done is 4 out of 5, right? Last week.
Yeah, 4 out of 5 last week was the best.
Damn it.
All right.
Well, English.
What's everybody thinking?
Yeah, you do not have to go in order. So
okay, but I'm gonna. We can just name 5.
Right.
First
Okay.
language you said though.
First language.
So
English.
that
Okay.
would be United States, United Kingdom, or speaking English. So I'd say that
Most
it's
of
a
Canada.
solid guess. Also, a little presumptuous of us, but you know.
Espanol.
Wait,
just-
so Jen, you have to give the fine. Like you have to say.
I thought we were
language.
talking about it.
So
Oh,
before
okay. I
before
thought-
we give
okay.
an answer, so we think English, Espanol.
Spanish.
Do we think is this by like people, like population?
Yeah. So when you give an answer, I have the population, the number of people that speak that language, to give you an idea of where you are.
Hindi? I mean, do you know how many people there are in India?
I would throw an Asian language into this at some point
Yeah.
too.
Chinese.
I would take Chinese over Japanese, I think. Yes, I
Yeah,
would take Chinese
yeah.
over Japanese.
Much larger population, right?
Yes.
Portuguese. Brazil is a huge country. Portugal speaks Portuguese as well.
French, because it's French. There's
French would be Canada and France.
are there any other countries that
I feel
are-
like Canadians speak English other than people from like Quebec.
Quebec, right. Let's go English to be safe as our first answer.
Okay.
And then we'll go from there. That's my opinion.
What do you think, Jen? You make the decision.
Yes.
English is number 3 at 379 million.
English is number 3.
Throw
Spanish
Chinese
has
in
to be
there.
number 1.
There's a lot of, Latin America, South America,
Yeah.
Spain. There's a lot of variances of Spanish, but at the end of the day, it's still Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Big Cat?
Spanish is a good one. I think it's going to be on there. Where it's at, I think, is either going to help us a lot or trick us up a little bit. I was thinking if we're talking about Chinese, I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, would Mandarin be a larger group of, or is that different? Like, is that just a
Mandarin.
dialect? Is that
So
is it
Mandarin is
under-
it's completely separate language. It's not Chinese. Like it's Mandarin is Mandarin.
I know that that's like a language of the future, kind of like that most people will speak that language. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe that's changed, but I don't know if we have to be so specific. It will Mandarin not be the same as Chinese and vice versa kind of thing.
I think we're asking for a rule, Mike, as far as how that's judged.
I think we're going to have to be specific
So
or Pacific.
Mandarin's a dialect of Chinese. There are 9 major dialects in Chinese.
Okay, so it's encompassed by Chinese. So Chinese.
So Chinese is definitely an answer then.
one of them.
Okay. Yeah.
Chinese
Final
one of the final answers.
Okay, so more specific.
More
Mandarin
specific.
then.
Mandarin.
Mandarin. Yeah, Mandarin's number 1.
Number 1. Wow.
Mandarin.
Yeah,
Yeah, 918
I'm not
million.
surprised.
Okay.
What
How
was
many?
the number?
918 million.
We want to go
And
Spanish,
English
right?
is 300.
Spanish.
Spanish.
Is that your answer?
See.
That's yes, Mike.
Spanish is number 2.
Yeah.
All right.
460 million.
Yo hablo español un poquito. Okay.
All
Sorry.
right, now we get into the hard parts.
Yeah. So what do we have right now? We have Portuguese, French, Hindi. Those are 3 other ones we have.
I agree with Portuguese because, again, South America and Portugal. It's a pretty large number. It's going to be less than 379 million, so that tracks with where we are on the list.
What about Russian?
It's a big landmass, but how many people are there?
Well, and the Eastern Bloc used to exist, so there's a lot of people born that probably speak Russian. And they have a lot of Russian. They have a lot of people in Russia.
Da.
It's got to be up there. Are we missing anything in Africa?
Swahili. But that's
Swahili?
not going to be
That's not going to be on the
that's
list.
not going to be a large number.
Okay.
I think Swahili is the number 1 African dialect.
And we have 3 strikes to play with.
So
To
I
be
would,
safe?
if I'm ranking the ones that we have, I would go Portuguese, French, Russian.
Okay.
Okay, let's go with one of those. And if it's not one of those, I think we have to consider Hindi just for the amount of people.
Oh, that's right. I
That'd
forgot
be
about
s-
Hindi on there. Yeah, sorry.
I think Hindi's going to be over Russian.
Okay. Well, let's try.
Start with what we think.
Let's do Hindi.
Okay.
Hit the mic. Sorry.
Hindi. That's your answer?
Yes.
Number 4, 341 million.
Yeah, look at
Let's
us.
go.
Good job,
Let's
Drew.
go. Let's go.
What was that number? 3 what?
341 million.
Okay.
I just got to give credit to my one Indian friend. Like she saved me here. She really helped us with this one. She taught me so much about India.
All right.
Never having been there, I just know more than I should. I'm so grateful for her.
All right.
I
So
know
we have
exactly what you mean.
Shout out to Geetika.
we are 3
Wow.
strikes with. We still have 1 to go with.
It's our best
We-
performance by far.
It's
We
the Jen
really need to
effect.
shoot. We really need to shoot for no strikes on this.
Oh,
That
no
would be
pressure. or
that'd
anything.
be like
Yeah.
that'd be like the
no
perfect
pressure. Or anything,
game.
big cat. So
All right,
then that
so-
leaves us
None.
with Russian, Portugal, and French.
But how many people are in Portugal? I know that, but I guess you have.
But you got to
said-
realize Brazil,
Yeah.
the South American countries that speak Portuguese.
Mm-hmm.
Is it another Asian dialect? Would that be? Is that something that's possible?
Yeah. What about
Japanese.
like Vietnamese or
Cantonese.
Yeah,
I think we're getting into the weeds on that
I
one.
mean, but
I
Japanese.
think we
because
should-
Mandarin's one.
Japan's small, but there's a lot of people there. Yeah, not that many though.
I would. So I think those languages are just going to be in Asia, whereas
Yeah.
Portuguese is multi-continental as well as French.
You guys thought of that right away. I mean, I support it. If you guys think that's
Okay.
and Jen
Let's go
seem
with
to be pretty-
Portuguese.
Strike 1. That's number 6.
Oh,
Very close.
Number 6.
Very
Are
close.
you kidding?
Oh.
So that's Portuguese has 221 million.
220.
Wow.
Okay.
That's a good job, guys. I never would have guessed that. You did a really good job, guys.
All right. So
that.
it's in between 222 and 340 million people.
There's no way it's French.
Since you just said that, I'll tell you French is not even on the top 10.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people speak French.
Weak ass language. Get out of here.
All right. So
Japanese. Are we talking Asian again because of the populations? I mean, those.
Russian because of the population.
Yeah.
Wait, what about Arabic?
Ooh.
Oh, Mike smirked.
But Mike
Mike also
Mike's
is,
tough to read. He
Mike
likes
is not-
he loves us getting it wrong, so he might smirk because he's like, yeah, fuckers are wrong.
say that again.
He
That's
thought
a-
you said
ooh.
garlic. It's so
Oh
stupid.
man, this is tough. Okay.
What about like
That's so stupid.
Big Cat, what are you thinking?
Garlic.
Oh.
What's the most
I don't
prominent
know.
language in the Middle East?
I have no idea.
Got to think of all the shows that I watch when they have an interpreter.
All right. Well,
Let's not
we're not going
overthink
to sit
it.
here all
So,
night. So let's
yeah,
just
let's-
Maybe it's Russian.
Do you want to go with that?
Let's go with it.
let's go with Russian.
Strike 2. That's number 7.
Oh my god!
So
We
we
were
really
so
Russian's 154 million.
Well, then
So-
it has to. It has to be Arabic.
Arabic or Japanese? That'd be my two guesses.
So I'll give you a freebie here. The one from the Middle East that's in the top 10 is not number 5, and it's Western Punjabi, which is Pakistani.
So
Japanese would be my guess, but that's
yeah, can
my...
we phone a friend or?
Not in these
All my
we can't.
friends are here.
All right, can I give you a hint?
Yeah.
Because you have one strike left.
Yeah.
We're clearly not
Please.
on. We're
Please.
clearly
We're
not
nowhere
on the right
near
track.
So think of how many people are in India?
A lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so right now in the top 5, the one Indian language is 341 million, and there's over 1 billion people in India.
What's the other language,
Well, that's the question.
guys?
I don't think you're gonna know the other language. I don't know that I've ever heard this.
The only other one I can think of, I believe it's Bengali. Sort of my Bengal tiger is what I think of, and I think it's Bengali. I think it's the only other prominent language I can think of.
Well, we were never going to get that.
No.
So we're going to go with the other language that they speak in India. Final answer.
Bengali.
Bengali.
Say it,
This is
Justin.
like Slumdog.
Bengali.
This is like Slumdog Millionaire.
Bengali. Is it-
Bengali.
It's Bengali.
Oh, yeah.
Yes! How do you pull that out?
228
Yes,
million.
Justin.
How did you pull that out?
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. We did it.
So, there are actually 3 languages from India.
Tell us the
and
backstory. How
I've
did
never-
you even know that?
I've never heard of the last one either. Marathi. I've never heard of that one
Mhm.
either.
Wow.
And just so you know, Japanese is number 8. You would have
Oh.
gotten
Damn.
8 of the top 10,
Wow.
skipping
Look at us
5.
go.
Yeah.
Good
Great
job.
performance. Thank you, Jen.
Hell yeah. Thanks, Jen,
Good
for
job,
giving us
Justin.
our first win in this.
Oh, that's the first one.
The first time we've
Good job,
ever
Big
done all
Cat.
five.
Yes.
Big
That's
Cat
right.
coming through. All right. Hey, Mike.
You're big with clutch with Hindi, Drew.
I'll give
This
myself a
is
little tap.
definitely a team effort.
Yeah.
boys
good
and
one.
for sure.
Well done.
All right. Mike, we have voicemails.
We do.
Shocking.
People Plum, it's me, Jim McBride. First time caller, long time listener. Welcome back to Jimmy's Inside Scoop. I know this episode's going to drop Thursday, which is going to be Turkey Day. Just remember, Mike Devine really wants to see everybody's Thanksgiving dinner. He doesn't believe that most of us eat the same thing. So he just wants proof. So either send it to him on Facebook. Tagging him is probably most effective, so that way it's just like filled, and then text him, whatever you want to do, but just make sure he sees it. And texting and posting on Facebook is probably more effective. That way he sees it more than once. So thanks a lot, guys. Love it. Keep up the good work. See you out there.
I was waiting for him to drop the number.
So, do you know when you have a birthday, Facebook creates like so many people have posted on your birthday. Last year on Thanksgiving, it created one of those for Thanksgiving for my Facebook page.
Oh,
Because so many
my.
people posted on my page.
Wow. Well, thank you,
Remember-
Jimmy.
If you post your picture, you better donate $10, and I will post the where to donate to.
Hey, Sour Plums. It's Carly, self-appointed president of the Big Cat Fan Club. I have a plum problem to present to you this evening. You see, I frequent Center, New Texas, is I think the official name of the road, as I head towards Monroeville from the area of Plum that we live in. And I pass the Plum Community Library on my right, and then I come around the bend a little bit, and there's the little stop sign. And just past the stop sign on the right-hand side is a house that usually gets decked out for every holiday full of inflatables. I'm talking on the roof, in the yard, over the stairs. There's usually an archway. They go all out for Halloween, all out for Thanksgiving, and then balls to the walls inflatables. all over the place for Christmas. And I'm concerned this home didn't put anything up for Halloween. And here we are, the week of Thanksgiving, still no sign of a Thanksgiving inflatable. And before we know it, Santa will be here. And they may not put a single inflatable up. I look forward to this house. I remember there being a dragon. My kids remember specific ones that they've seen there. I don't know. I guess my plum problem is, has anybody checked on the house with the normal inflatables? Because we need to make sure everyone's okay there. I'm just concerned for the well-being of the sweet woman or man who works so hard to put up those inflatables all over the place. Are they okay? Do they need someone to come help? I can volunteer people. Yeah, we got to get this solved. I need to see the inflatables. So, Sour Plums, please help.
Big Cat, any comments?
I love how Sour Plums is becoming me and Carly stalking people and wanting to know what's up with that guy.
Maybe that's where Mole Man
Maybe
lives,
Mole
and now
Man
he's-
lives
It is
there.
concerning.
Oh,
Yeah, it is
my
concerning for
God.
sure. I share her concern 100%.
I'm taking a
Something's
camera
not
to the
right.
house.
Something's not right. Somebody is not okay.
Need
Could
a
you
wellness
imagine
That's
if
check.
what
world-
it said.
Could you
Yeah.
imagine
For
if
the
worlds
record-
collided and that was where Mole Man lived?
It wouldn't surprise me at
The
this
Wyckoff
point.
house would just implode.
He's probably burrowing under us right now.
I mean, I know where she's talking about. I have no idea which house.
I do.
Yeah.
I know what house she's talking about.
We'll look into
Go
that, Carly.
knock on
Thank
the
you.
door.
Yeah.
That's what you're here for, Jen. You go knock on doors all the time in
I
Plum.
do
Have at
go
it.
knock on doors all the time. I'll go knock on their door.
Come and knock on our door.
Well, thank you for that call, Carly. We will check on them. Guys, do you have any quick shout outs before we wrap it up tonight?
Shout out to the Plum Boys basketball team, everyone that went out, tried out, and made the team. Looking forward to the season.
Yes, sir.
And all the rest of the winter sports. Justin.
I shouted out
Very fine.
the boys basketball. That's what I shouted out. If you want to shout out the other ones, go right ahead.
List them all, Mike. Shout out to all winter sports athletes in Plum and every school district around the country.
There's a lot of
All
winter
right.
sports. I just can't think of them all right now.
Good luck to anyone playing in the Turkey Bowl, especially if you're over 40. Don't get injured.
We're over
Yes.
50 in Mike's case.
You son of a bitch.
Well, before we wrap it up, I do want to say thank you to Jen for joining us tonight in the special guest host role. Did you have a lot of fun?
I had
At
a
least a
great
little
time.
bit?
Again,
Okay.
yeah, thank you. It was a lot of fun. You guys are great. You're doing a
You
great
always-
job.
You set us straight, so that's people say, you should have more female perspectives on the show, and then we bring you on and you tell us why we're wrong most of the time. So probably the last woman to ever be on the show again. No, I'm kidding.
Well, whenever Mike did his list, I was like, well, it's a bunch of guys. No wonder I'm not agreeing with the order.
Well, thank you, Jen. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you for listening to Sour Plums. Like this episode, subscribe to our channel on SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. Share if you care. We're out.
Deuces.